Ladies and gentlemen, I have four esteemed guests here with me to have this amazing conversation. And what we're going to do here for starters is give a brief introduction. I want you all to answer this question. When you hear a mother call her son her best friend, what thoughts or emotions come to mind? We're going to start with Joy.
My name is Joy. And by way of introduction, I guess I'm a mom of an almost 13-year-old boy, so teenage years loading up here. A little bit is Mel is my brother-in-law. So he's married to one of my sisters. So yeah, so he's family. I don't know that it's necessarily thoughts or emotion. It's just time out now. That's just it's just for me, especially as a mother of a son. I'm just like, no, he is not. He is my child, and he is not my best friend. He can't be. Period. That's it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, let's go to Ida. You can introduce yourself and answer that question.
Well, I'm Ida, and I'm on TikTok as Ida Elizabeth, and I say what I think. So, yeah, I might say some some off the wall stuff, but it's coming from a good place because I want to help. And what else? What was the question?
When you hear a mother call her son her
Oh,
best friend, what thoughts or
oh,
emotions come up for you?
probably no diploma, and probably don't have a man or a life.
Oh, oh,
And if she does have a man, he don't play a significant role in their lives.
she ain't happy.
Mm.
Whoa, you didn't lie about saying what you want to say. All right, let's go to Kendall.
So I am Kendall L. Williams and
Okay.
podcast. I speak the unfiltered, authentic truth about motherhood and parenting. And as it relates to that question, Ida kind of said what I was going to say. That's a flag for me. When I hear mom say that's my best friend, it leads me to also believe she doesn't have a man. If she does have a man, she's not happy. And she's way too codependent on that relationship with her son.
My brother Jeff, and he goes by Ask a Brother podcast, so I try to refer to you by that as well. Go ahead, my man.
Yeah, the name is Jeff James. I'm just now getting started in this podcasting space. Ask a Brother podcast is what I'll be going by. And as far as this particular topic, yeah, thoughts about codependency, thoughts about whether or not a man is in this child and her life, as well as whether or not, if he is there, if he has a significant, same thing that the ladies have said, whether or not he would have a significant role in the life of their child or son specifically. Those would be typically the things I would go to as well. I wouldn't assume that the biological father, upon hearing that, had a significant role to play in his child's life at all, if I heard something like that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into our topic here. I found this video that struck me a certain way, so I want to get others' opinion on this, and we're getting right into our discussion. Let's take a look. And due to copyright restrictions, unfortunately, I cannot play the music, but I have added the lyrics here. It's K. Michelle can't raise a man.
But you can't raise a man, he's already grown. What you gon' do? You wonder why he acts like a boy. It's 'cause he wasn't raised right before you.
Girl, you ain't never gonna change nobody. If you don't wanna, you can't make nobody. 'Cause you can't raise a man. No. No.
All right. So, this one we're going to start with Ida. Give your reaction to that video and then answer this question. Can a mother and son truly be best friends without blurring emotional boundaries?
No, I don't think so. No. So the song choice is crazy to me too, because I'm not understanding can't raise a man. I don't know if she's saying that like she raised her son right, or I don't know. I just think that's a song you should be singing with your best friend or sister or somebody like that. But your son, I don't know. That's not fitting at all.
All right, Kendall.
Ooh. So for me, I'm fine. So back up. I have two adult sons, 29 and 34. That's number one. At that age, if my sons and I had a good relationship where we can go to lunch or we can hang out, that's fine. But I'm still looking at them like they're my sons. They're not my friends. So I similar to what she said, the song was ironic that you would be bopping to "Can't Raise a Man," because in my mind, I'm looking at like maybe you're not raising a man. So, you know,
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It was a bop though. It's a bop.
agree.
It's a bop.
For sure. All right, ask a brother.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to agree with the ladies as well. I think the song choice is crazy. It is a bop,
Unfortunately.
meaning that I was rooting for her. But
Mm.
unfortunately, I don't typically, on my side being a therapist, by the time they make it into a clinician's office and the work that we have to do, these are usually the beginning signs of something that I deal with later on when they're married, when they're having issues with women or later in life. These are some of the signs you'll typically see of them overstepping certain lines and boundaries that kind of come back to haunt them. Can they be friends? Yeah, they can. It's definitely possible, but it's usually going to be at a detriment of other major areas in their life, whether it be authority figures, discipline, understanding appropriate boundaries between the two of them, and just even understanding the importance of the role of a male or a man. All of those are going to be detrimentally impacted because of how close and more friend than parent these type of dynamics tend to be.
Yeah, she's going to be the mom that's in my comments saying, "What about the daughter-in-laws?" Because now she's mad because her son has moved on and he's in a relationship and now he's putting his wife first and no longer his mama. And she's going to have a problem with that. And she's going to blame it on the daughter-in-law when, number one, I always hold your son responsible or your daughter responsible for fostering any relationship as it relates to you and them. But when your child gets married, their spouse comes first. When your child is in another relationship, their partner comes first. So that's going to present a problem depending on the dynamic of their relationship. So she'll be in my comments saying, "Well, what about the daughter-in-laws? My son doesn't talk to me like he used to anymore." Yeah. And then I have to gather her and tell her exactly what I just said.
All right, let's quickly go to Joy.
Gosh, the answer, like everyone has said, I think no. And I think for me, it's not. I was listening to the song and I'm just shaking my head because to the point I think Ida made, that's not a song that should be listened. Should be bopping to with my little boy. I don't care how old he gets. But the fact that the boy was really digging in, I'm going, what do you know about this? Like, you are not emotionally matured enough to understand the intricacies of raising a child with or without a man in your life. So what do you know about this? I don't think that boy was I don't even think he was up to 20 years old. Your frontal lobe is not even fully developed yet. So I don't know what you're talking about. So the short answer is no. But I think also it goes to what I think Ask a Brother was saying. It's when you see this manifest later on in life, because she has pulled him into the hardship of what it is as a Black mother or as a young mother, all these things that he is not mature enough to, I don't know, digest and understand. But because he loves his mom, he's taken on that weight already. He's trying to feel all these things that he has no business feeling at all. And that's where, to me, just watching him and how he's feeling it, the lines are already blurred. And it's already starting. It's already entrenched in him. Unfortunately, like, you should not be bumping to that because you do not know what it is to make a family and grow a family at that age.
He's also going to have an issue if she gets into a serious relationship because of the dynamic of that relationship. So we need to talk. If I'm skipping, y'all pause me. But yeah,
No, go ahead.
with the dynamic of their relationship, if they have that type of relationship, he's also going to have a problem when she gets into a serious relationship, if she is not already. And he's going to interfere into that relationship and cause havoc and hell because she has made him the object of everything.
And not just the object. I think there's an importance of placing of roles in relationships, especially with the parent-child dynamic. I'm one of 4 girls and I have 2 brothers. Make no mistake, it does not matter how old we are. My mother is my mother. period. We're not girlfriends. We're friendly, but we're not friends. That that's not even somebody misinterpreting that. In the same way I'm raising my child, right? We can be friendly, we can always communicate, you can always come to me, but there is no disillusionment as to what your role is and what mine is. And so to your point, Kendall, whether a man is in her life now or about to be, if he's already blurring the lines and there's no healthy boundaries with what she's saying to him, what he's witnessing or not witnessing, he does not know what it is to have a healthy relationship for his mom, what that looks like. So if somebody comes in, then it seems like, well, I have to protect mom. And now you're taking mom away from me. And he's gonna get confused about it. And then she's so in love and so happy that she feels like, what's wrong with you, boy? It snowballs from there on.
No doubt. And I actually commented on this post, like only I can do. I'm pretty controversial, my brother Jeff. I'm sorry, but I just can't help myself. But I tried to be light. So I said, I'm praying for the brother. And I kind of knew how she would take it. So she was like, what you mean? The mom responded to me. And I said, well, he has no clue what's ahead of him. So it prompted this question. I want to open up to the panel, to you guys. We use this term, son husbands. How possible, or is it possible for those who are in that dynamic to notice that they're in the current state?
I don't think they look at it like that. I don't think the mom looks at it in that manner. And I definitely don't think the son looks at it in that manner. I think there's responsibility placed on him as the man of the house in the role that she's put him in. But I don't think they really are looking at it from that perspective. I did an episode last year saying, sis, he's not your man. Oh. And the mamas weren't happy about it, but it is what it is. It needed to be said because that's not your man. And your child doesn't know how to separate the two. So I don't think they're logically thinking about it in that manner, even though on the outside we're looking at it in that manner. But I think there's a responsibility that's placed on them that kind of places them in that position, especially when she's like, my son is he's gorgeous or he's amazing. You know what I'm saying? And you're supposed to affirm your children. Like, don't get me wrong. But I think there's a level to it that shouldn't be crossed. And I think some moms, when they're really caught up into that son-mother dynamic, those lines are crossed when you say stuff like, oh, my son's so fine. And, oh, he's so handsome. And, all of that type of stuff. Like, I just think it crosses the line.
I think it's an age limit on that. Like, you could say they're cute when they probably little kids, but when they start when they become teenagers, it's a no.
That's it.
No.
Yeah.
I think they don't ever notice until it's too late as well, or until somebody else bring it to their attention. Mm-hmm. Like when he get a woman or a wife or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I like to believe that my mom still thinks I'm cute now. But as far as the warning signs that they could potentially identify, or just people on the outside could potentially identify, I have 4 that I've been kind of reflecting and thinking about that are really easy ones to kind of pinpoint and acknowledge. The first is he's being expected to shoulder financial burdens unnecessarily at an age that's probably not appropriate. You'll typically see this dynamic earlier. You're not going to see the what's it called, the son husband thing that doesn't manifest when he's 30. This is something that typically starts to happen pretty young, potentially on their teenage years, especially when they're at the space or point when they can start to try to make money legally or illegally to try to compensate for the lack of a father figure or male role model being in the home to supplement the income. The second was, and this is probably very obvious to a lot of women who have seen it and experienced it, moms become extremely jealous and possessive to the point that she'll continually attempt to undermine and sabotage any meaningful connections that he'll have with other females. And this could be during teenage years or even adult years. But that very visceral, if you're just new, you're just being introduced to the family and mom has this animosity, that's usually a telltale sign that there may be something inappropriate or a level of attachment that's kind of gone too far in terms of the dynamic between mom and son. Number three, mom or son will attempt to make immediate family planning decisions that factor each other more than they factor the immediate partner or wife.
Mhm.
We talking about buying homes and where we gonna live and what type of property we gonna get and all. And the wife or girlfriend who's been in the picture for a hot minute, it's like, wait a minute, your mom's gonna be moving in with us?
Right.
Oh wait, like what that dynamic where they're making plans with each other and they're kind of omitting the woman who's supposed to be essentially taking her role in her place. And number four, the mother may rarely, if ever, point out things that her son did wrong or needs to change, especially when interacting with other women. She'll always side with her son. So those are the four things that I think, just clinically, just watching TV like everyone else, those are typically the four major components that I could think of that'll pretty easily stand out to people who are exhibiting it, and it'll be very clear to those who are the witnesses.
Yeah, I've had to tell someone myself, you probably gonna end up with your mom.
Okay. Y'all gonna make a real good couple.
Real hiccup.
But I think it's the full points are, it's just sad hearing it, but it is true, right? It is true, especially in the African American community. I think for me, looking at, I mean, we have all these, like when there's draft and all that, and this was, I want to thank my mom, my grandmother, right? It's endemic in the community because these are the pillars, right? That raised them. The dad was absent or in and out. And so the boy from an early age, like you said, ask a brother, from an early age has become beholden to the matriarch and to the moms and their family because, oh, they give their lives, they give birth to me, they sacrifice everything, they work all this while. And that's ingrained in them. I can't wait to do this. I can buy a house for them. I can't wait to do this. So there's this, I owe you everything. And this is where they justify the keeping the partner out, right? Because you don't know what my mama did for me. You don't know what they went through for me. Like you wouldn't have me if not for them. And they justify, but to your point, the mom doesn't stop and draw the healthy boundaries. Like that was great, but now you start a new life. Here's where I stop and here's where you continue. They don't draw that line. And the other thing too is the mom, I think, in every ethnic culture, I think the mom, when there isn't a man in life or the relationship isn't great, like the super dad or the great dad, begins to overcompensate, right? Because she's the mom and dad. Especially if she didn't have a dad in her life, she's trying to play the role the best that she can, right? And so she's trying to say, if we have this wonderful close relationship, that means everything is all right. But she's looking at it as my baby right now, but not I'm raising a son who's going to become somebody's partner, who's going to become somebody's father. Who can I bring? Who are the brothers? Who are the community members that I can bring to instill in this boy what it is to become a young man, a productive member of society? She's not thinking beyond that. And I think that's where the problem is. He's become indebted to her. She says, but I need to protect you. I need to give you everything. But you're not giving him. You're being a disservice to him, because you're not preparing him for the bigger world, to be a dad, to be a member of society. And that's to his detriment at the end of the day. And then the other thing I was saying was, I wrote down was, the part about being responsible for the mom's happiness. I think that's so big emotionally. It's almost like, I don't know which word to use for it. It's a major burden. Because mom is not happy, so I'm going to do this. And when they start as a little kid, oh, mom, it's okay. Everything is okay, especially if there's an abusive relationship situation. Then they feel like they have to protect mom. They have to and this is telling on this child. Because even when mom is in a good relationship, there's a detachment. If it's bad, let me come back in and save and be mom's hero. It just never ends. And so when a new person comes in, it's like you're busting that bubble of me and mom. And they don't know how to deal because nobody gave them the capacity. Nobody gave them the right mechanism or tools on how to do that. And unfortunately, it is something we see over and over. And sometimes today when I see people say, oh, my mom, I'm like, it's good to appreciate your mom, but everyone has their role in their place. Make sure you're according the right amount of deference and respect to each one, especially when your partner and your children come into play. So,
Joy, I love so much of what you covered. When me and Kendall did our episode a couple weeks ago, I actually pointed out that there was a point in growing up when I kind of started to feel like I needed to be the man of the house. And my mom wasn't the one who said it. It was actually my dad and my uncle.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Mel. Thank you for joining my channel. Thank you for checking things out here. Oftentimes we go on people's pages and are like, man, what is going on here? What is the purpose of this channel? So let me be clear. The purpose of this channel is to speak truth regarding the nuclear family. And when I say truth, I'm not saying my truth, not your truth, but the Lord's truth. All about the word, all about the ways and the will of God. What does he have to say about the nuclear family? And I believe the generations of today, whether it be Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, Gen Y, whatever the case may be, I believe now we have a very toxic relationship regarding marriage, regarding family, regarding having children. We're in a toxic dynamic as we speak. And honestly speaking, a lot of the answers that we're looking for in our community, a lot of the cures and a lot of the answers would come from a proper, fulfilled family home. If you go down the line of everyone's individual trauma, there you will find some negligence or some type of issue that they had with their parents. So here on this channel, we address those things head on. We don't place fear in those issues and avoid the topic. We do what Jesus did. And when he said, don't assume that I came for peace, but I came with a sword. I came to turn family members against family members if it means you following me. If you have to cut them off, if you have to address them and have arguments for you to follow me, so be it. And I think at this point in our society, we're at the so be it stage. So here at Life Coaching by Mel, I'm all about bringing healing to that. And the number one way to do that is have honest conversations. So if that's something you like, that's something you're into, that's something you really want to be a part of, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to comment. Let me know what you think about everything. I do my best to respond as often as I can. I want to hear from you guys. This is not about me. It's about healing our nation, healing our states, healing our cities, healing our community, healing our homes. Love you guys. Take care.
Let's go.